Testes, ball sack, 1, 2, testes, testicle. Hello? We live? We are alive. I took everything off of my main area where I pile my stuff. And I cleared off my whole bed. Then I placed one item and another item, and I got a visual picture. What would it be like to carry this 17 miles on foot? Then, after 2 hours of messing around, configuring and reconfiguring and thinking about different things, I put my hiking tent. I have a small hiking tent from the brand of which we do not speak the name. We do not speak the name. You do not know D-Way. But it is a tent. Technically, it's a tent-shaped object. So, tent-shaped object. It's for people who like tents. What's the thing with Bud Light? Oh, people who don't like beer but want to drink a lot of it. You want a Bud Light? That's for people who don't like the taste of beer, but you want to drink a lot of it. Bud Light. So I guess it's camping for people who don't want to sleep in a tent, or do want to sleep in a tent. I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. I'm walking my bike with a trailer. This is technically a highway. Technically, on paper. Things that look good on paper. It's not always what it seems. But cars go pretty fast here. I have to be careful, and hoping not to get any sticker bushes in my tires. So I was sick of it. And they were shooting again. They were shooting. Someone was shooting at somebody, and somebody else was shooting back at that person. You could hear the two separate guns, and I don't know. I want to get out of that area. So I've been wanting to get away for a while. And one of my roommate kind of person hasn't been around, and the other one is I just don't want to be around him. Let's put it that way. You wouldn't want to either. Yeah, I was like, okay. I started picturing, what if I just walked away and went somewhere? Like, okay, what if I was cold? Well, I would just grab this. All right, well, I want to charge my phone. Okay, I'll throw the phone charger in the pile there. Not a pile, but, a neatly organized, sectioned off area. And, well, you're like, I'll get tired at some point. I want to lay down on something. So I'm like, okay, put my Thermarest mattress, and I want to put that on something just so it doesn't for sure get a hole in it. So I grabbed my Ranger mat, foam mat. So that's what we're working with so far. Want to sit, so I got something to sleep on, something to put under me. The temperature tonight is going to get down to about 41, 43, something. So it'll be pretty cold, pretty chilly. Definitely not summer bag, casually throwing a blanket over you and just kind of leaving your sleeping bag open. It's going to be, it gets cold, and it gets colder and colder as the night goes on. And it's going to drop about 20 degrees from what it is now. It's about 60 right now, so it was about 75 earlier. That's how it is here. And I'm going near the ocean right now. I might go to the ocean. I don't know. There's no plan. That's the thing. There's no plan. I got sick of it. I was sick of it. And I was just like, okay, all right, fuck this. I was like, all right, I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna bounce, dude. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go somewhere. Yeah. So I'm like, well, there's a crap ton of bugs out here. A lot. You will get destroyed. I don't care what you say. You're not sleeping under a tarp. If you do, I mean, I don't know what. Anything that's exposed is gonna be like, it's like a buffet. These mosquitoes, there'll be 1,000 of them all night long. Your whole face. We went camping out in these conditions when I was younger, and we slept in these it's like army style MASH tent. So they were on pallets. It's like maybe 6 pallets, and then you just have a simple A-frame canvas with ropes and like 2 poles, and it's tied and staked down. The bottom flaps are just open to the wind, whatever, and it's just a sheltered area. It's not closed in. It looks like it could be potentially, but it's not at all. And bugs can just freely come and go as they please all night long. And we had no bug protection, nothing. It just, we weren't thinking about it. And when I got home, we had counted the mosquito bites because my mother was freaking out about it. And I was kind of freaking out just because, like, it was a lot. And so they counted them. And I told this story before, but like my mom was kind of freaking out and stuff. And like she didn't know what was going to happen, if you could get a bad allergic reaction, or like this was kind of bad. It wasn't normal. And she's like, oh, what does he have, like 100 bites? How many could it possibly be? Like 100? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, well, count how many and call back. And then she counted them, and she's like, yeah, there's over 100 on his face, over 150 on each arm, at least 200 on his back. Each leg has about close to 100, maybe 75. Or, you know. She's like, man, she like stops. She's like still naming parts of the body, and it's like, no, bring him in here immediately. And like they did this calamine bath, but my skin was torn up. Like it looked like a horror film, because it was all itchy, and some of them were like, you know how a mosquito bite is. When you get like 5 or 6, 8, 10 of them on your arm, and like some of them are kind of, you're scratching them a little bit and whatever, and like it's all getting funky and dirty, and like you're washing it. This is everywhere. Every single centimeter was like bite. Anyway. You can. Actually, tonight it would be pretty good. It wouldn't be too bad with the bugs, because 40 degrees. Actually, I think it's like 47 now that I think about it. I think it changed. But, yeah, it'll be below 50 for sure. And these bugs don't care about that. They do not care. Like, up north, or in the Midwest, even like north, yeah. When it gets cold, the mosquitoes go away. They tend to like go away. If it's not warm and comfortable and like breeding temperatures, they kind of go away. You might see a couple here and there, but if it's cool enough in the Midwest, once it gets to the point where you're wearing some kind of long sleeves, you're not going to get fucked with by mosquitoes. Like, they're just not going to be around. It's even mid-50s. You barely will see them at all. Here, it has to be like 30 degrees or like 35 Like, you can see frost. You can see actual frost. It can get that cold. It doesn't really snow here. It can snow. It has a couple times over the years. But you can see frost, and there will be a damn mosquito. It doesn't make any sense. I've never seen anything like it. But, oh, that looks cool. Yeah. You can sleep under a tarp, but with these bugs, there's also ticks. It's not about fucking, weakness and like, toughen up. No, dude, no. I'm not getting bitten by a toxic fucking spider, poisonous spider, venomous snake. I'm not. Like, I'm just not. There's no reason to do that. So like, they're everywhere here. They're everywhere. Like, you can't go very long without seeing something that wants to fucking eat you, poison you, bite you. It's not crazy like you're paranoid constantly and like all, going crazy about it. It's just something to be aware of. Like, you go out in a rainstorm, you're gonna get fucking wet. You bring an umbrella. Here, it's, like if you're in a storm and you don't have that, you're gonna get wet. That's gonna happen. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna minimize that. Don't really want to get eaten. Eaten alive. And the biting ants, I'm gonna stop for a second. The biting ants are insane. Some kind of just thing around you, super ideal. Makes it way more comfortable just for an overnight in this super rough bullshit, this terrain. But plenty of times I could just stop and throw a ground sheet on the ground, not even be in a sleeping bag, completely unprotected, woken up because I'm wet by rain, and then just go to a sheltered area, have to dry my stuff, get new stuff. So don't think it's about like I can't rough it. No. You don't design your home furniture out of nails, like a bed of nails. Instead, you design your home furniture with a cushion. It's like, okay, that's comfortable. Well, why don't we have all those comforts when we're out in the wild? Well, because you can't really carry a house. Okay, so then you think, well, we need to do the function of the house, whatever that is. We need to do that with these other items. So, okay, what's the only problem? Well, you can't carry everything. So you're like, all right, I want to carry as little as possible. Cool, what can I get away with? Well, if you keep following that path of logic, you could get away with nothing. Like, you can survive with nothing. No clothing, no food for a certain period of time. Until what? Then you have to cover your body, possibly. I mean, there's tribes that live naked for hundreds and thousands of years, so it can be done. And they're in a place with lions and shit that want to kill you and eat you, like actively walking around. They're still there. Okay? I gotta stop for a second here. Oh yeah. I don't know how many miles I've done so far. About 2.5, 3, over 3 hours. Oh, that looks awesome. Oh, look at that. Very trippy. But yeah. So you're like, okay, I'm not gonna live naked. You're like, I'm gonna have this thing I wrap around me. Okay. Now you have one item of convenience, of comfort, of luxury, of an instance of something where you can be alive. You were alive your whole life. You got by just fine with your tribe, naked, living in a jungle. Never a problem. You build houses out of dirt and sticks and everything. You hunt. You know, you do your weird ritual dances. And that's it. Now it's like, oh, this extra thing. Well, like a leather tunic. You find the first piece of armor in a game. It's like, oh, a piece of leather or cloth. Okay. Well, when this guy punches me, it'll hurt like 1% less than it did bare skin. Okay, cool. Now, if something falls on me or I brush up against it, it won't cut my skin as easily. This can cover me from other things like the sun. Okay, cool. It can, cover up my sensitive parts. Now I can travel around more. And if I use a different type of material, I can even repel the water. Now I'm basically a walking shelter. And I have way more capability than I had before, right? Okay, so you keep going. What other capability? Okay, put a multi-tool in the guy's hand. Okay, now there's a thing. Any of these things I could remove from your list and say the same thing. And, oh, you don't need that. This is just, this is fine. It's like, you don't need this. You don't need that. You don't need anything at all. So it's just a matter of which of those items are justified for you to meet your needs and your goal. Why do you have it? What's the point? What's the purpose? Oh, okay. But trust me, you go in these woods out here and just stand around, you're not going to have a good time. Mosquitoes and biting flies would be the main thing. It's not summer yet, but in the summer it's absolutely unbearable. Believe me, people have come here from miles and miles, like very far away, like from other states. It's a big tourist destination. There's 2 big cities around here. One is an hour and a half away, and the one I live in, it's a port city. People book vacations here from all over the country, to be honest. But all up and down the coast, East Coast, very common for people to be from all these other different states. Not so much from south, because it kind of seems like once you go that way, you don't come back this way. Forgot my train of thought. I was thinking that was going to happen. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I was talking about lions in the jungle and tribalists and shit, but well, okay. I mean, you have your stuff. Yeah, you come out here. Oh, yeah, the tourists. People will come here and spend literally drop like $2,000. People have told me, oh yeah, we just spent like $1,200. We just spent like $2,000, for a whole family, renting a car, doing all this shit. They buy their food. They might get some umbrella, chair, beach items, all this. Pack up the car, go on a road trip. It takes, 8 hours, whatever, driving. Get all the way there. You were planning this for weeks, months even. You're like, oh, the trip. The trip. This is going to be awesome, kids. It's going to be awesome. Kids are going nuts. Yeah, we're almost there. Oh, shut the fuck up. No, you shouldn't say that to you. Hey, everybody calm down. Turn this car right around. There's too many damn planes on this motherfucking snake. You can't say airplane on a bomb. Keep that in mind. Serious time. Laughing time is over. Yeah, you do all that. You find your parking space. You're driving. There's a little street, a little road that curves around. You have to go all the way there, and it takes a long time because there's people everywhere. Hundreds of people going to the beach. Like when you see just a shot of like a beach packed, not like packed like where it's fucking some third world country and it's all like just human bodies, but you know, yeah, as far as the eye can see, beachgoers, canopies, tarps, fucking, you know, day shelters, rooftop tent things set up and canopies that come off the Jeep, off-road vehicles, people with boats, wave runners, canoes, people hiking. There is so much outdoor shit to do here. It's unbelievable. But so you get there, you park your car, finally, you go to the beach. Yeah, everyone's taking their shoes off. Yeah, the kids are running to the sand. And so they all get set up and start putting the chairs, and they're like, oh, damn it, fucking flies are biting me. Huh, ow, like, start getting, it feels like a thumbtack. Like someone pushed a fucking thumbtack and you're like, ow, what the fuck? Fucking bastard. You can't kill them. They just persist. Even if you manage to swat one of them, there's like still a bunch more. And you're like, what the fuck? This sucks. So you keep setting up your things. And you're like, well, whatever, you know. Let's just make some food. Send the no-see-ums. Start fucking with you, which are these tiny little gnats that you can't see south. Little bottles, and it says no see 'em. And it's just like lemon and eucalyptus. It keeps those things away. Almost nothing works. So those things start fucking with you. Then you start getting itchy on your legs, and you're like, what the hell? And you look, and there's something jumped off of you. You're like, what the hell was that? And something jumps on you, and you're like, oh, what the hell? And you look, and it's a flea. So, okay, there's sand fleas. They're fucking everywhere. You're like, what the hell? Okay, so then, you know, setting up the stuff. They're like, okay, well, let's just start eating. Flies are just bombarding the shit out of the food, and just, so you have to deal with it. You're dealing with it, and it gets so bad where kids are crying, Mom, I want to go home. Like, literally can't stand it anymore. They try to go in the water, nothing, you know, it's happened. It's not like every time you go, every experience, but just saying. So you have a choice. Oh, wow. Let me add 1 pound to my whole pack weight. Uh-oh. Now I have an enclosed little environment, which takes 30 seconds longer to set up than a tarp would and gives me 10,000 times more protection. You know, just throwing up a tarp, yeah, it's cool. It's fun. There's nothing else like it. I just wouldn't do it in this heat. With this heat, it's real bad. And with the bugs. And you wake up with a fucking a black widow spider with the red dot, Wednesday, 3 inches from your face, and you kill the thing, and then you look, and there was on your pillow where your face was. I'm done. No, I'm not doing that. No, never again. It isn't happening. You just sit down, all of a sudden, like, ow, what the hell? Hundreds of fire ants, or these black biting ants. They just swarm you and like, oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. They're so persistent too. Yeah, there's gators, you know. There's all kind of shit. Like, just certain areas will be like, okay, but not when it's hot. When it's warm and hot, not out here. That's, you got a death wish, man. I mean, you can tarp camp, you can do that, but you can also, I mean, you could, I don't know, like, do all kinds of thrilling, life-threatening activities that are like, oh, I almost died, haha, it was, yeah, it's like, cool, yay, yay, okay, you almost died, cool. Like, how is that cool? I get it, yeah, but it's like, I've almost died a few times, and I'm kind of grateful I didn't. That was not fun. It was very not fun. But yeah, you're just kind of taking unnecessary risk to do that. It makes no sense. It's like trying to climb a mountain without the proper equipment. I mean, yeah, you can do it, but why would you want to do that? Are you trying to, you know, accomplish a task, a goal of like, you know, I know my abilities and I know I can do this and I can push myself to this level and then to this extreme and climb up here or whatever with only this, but you're like, people will tell you you cannot proceed. There's areas where there's, you know, stories and it's like they didn't take a guide, they didn't take a Sherpa with them. That's why they're not here today. You just, certain things you don't cross over that line. And you can, like I said, but why? For what? Like, I want to lay down and go to sleep. Nothing is really gonna grab me or attack me, fuck with me. You know, it's not a false sense of security. It's an actual enclosure, you know, where nothing is coming in. Really, I got the mesh and the zipper hole is the only opening. And that's good. That's good stuff. So, yeah. Rant over. So, yeah, I'm in these turning lanes. I've just been walking, pushing my bike with my other hand. So back to the thing. I thought, well, I could tarp camp, but I checked the weather, and you know, yeah. I was like, nah. If it was gonna be cold, more cold than this, yeah, maybe. But for what? I brought the trailer. I brought a bike trailer, and plus, even if it was a backpack and I'm hiking on foot, talking about a pound? Come on, dude. 1 pound for 10 times the protection. And my gear, nothing is gonna leak. Nothing's sealed up. Nothing's gonna be flapping. It's all one solid construction. It just works. There's nothing to fuck with and fidget with. You know, you can get tarpology down to a science, yes, and you can practice and get real good at it and do quick up and downs, shelter, and get your rigs all set up and pre-ready, and you just pull it out, throw it, yeah, it's fine. But like in practical everyday situations, you're always still gonna have to be doing something. Like, especially multiple nights, there's no way. Like, on my tent body, there's nothing to adjust. It stays rigid, it stays firm, it stays in that shape. That's what it's gonna do. All day and night, many, many days in a row. I stake down the 4 corners, I put the fly on or not, and that's it. The fly attaches to it, clips on real easy, stays secure. It gets staked down in 2 spots, it's not a problem. Like, but if I have a tarp, I know for sure, especially out here where we have like almost constant winds. This is a tropical weather system area. Hurricane, tropical weather, huge storms, flooding, flash flooding. We get tornadoes, sudden weather events. All of a sudden, it's just huge weather risk, red warnings everywhere. Yeah, the ocean is, it's something else, man. Right next to the ocean. It comes out of nowhere. Whole sky turns black from like a picture perfect day. Beautiful outside, 90 or 80 degrees, 90 degrees. Suddenly drops 10, 15 degrees, turns black. Then it'll rain and then it'll go away. And then it's like nothing ever happened. But, so, on the bed, I had those two things, the Thermarest pad. I'm like, well, if I'm going to bring that to lay on, I'm not going to lay on the bare ground. I'll bring the Ranger mat to throw under it. It's fine. Very simple. Keep it as simple as I can. Well, to a degree, like I said. I'm like, okay, I'll grab the hiker tent. That's fine. Took my lightweight aluminum poles. So that thing's like 2 pounds. Then I grab my sleeping bag and I have my Sierra Design sleeping bag and my Eku Pro liner. That Eku Pro, you can sleep in 50 degrees with that alone and be fine. You could sleep in the other one in 30 degrees and be fine. I put the Eku inside. It's a real thin rectangle bag. Like if you're getting shipped away because you're not alive anymore and your arms are at your sides and you I don't know who could sleep in there. Who sleeps like that? You cross your arms on your chest? What do? I guess it's meant for summer, kind of chilly. A lot of people wear a sweater. I can't sleep with a sweater, anything on my arms or legs. I can't. If it's freezing, maybe if I had a couple drinks, and I was exhausted, about to pass out after 2 days being awake, grinding or something on YouTube, working 48 hours in a row. Yeah, maybe. But then I'll wake up because I feel uncomfortable. It makes me anxious. I can't stand the feeling of something always like around me, grabbing me, holding me, like against me. My skin, gotta get it off, dude. So, for sure, if anything, my light t-shirt and boxers or shorts, but I got these lightweight athletic pants. Sometimes I can lay in those. But anyway, if you sleep in your boxers and a t-shirt only, and say it was 30 degrees, which is freezing. What is that, like 0 degrees Celsius, I think, is 30 Fahrenheit. Right at the temperature, ice will form, right? 32 degrees, 30 degrees, around there, depending on salinity, the water. But could be 28 degrees, you could freeze water. You could put that Sierra Design bag and the Eku Pro. I have the end of it zipped just to the corner, and I just throw that on top of my feet, and I have it over me like a quilt. I could zip it up more if I need to. Then it's like double insulation, and it feels like a heater. Like with those two bags, I could go down to 10 degrees, 0, in shorts and a t-shirt, not even with the fleece, nothing, no sweatshirt, no sweatpants, no thermals, no booty things. I cannot sleep with socks on. It's impossible. It can't happen. If you want to keep me awake forever, indefinitely, like inhumanly just keep socks on me. And eventually I'll pass out for like a second, but anyway. So with that sleep system, using only my Ranger mat and a thin reflective sportsman's blanket, which barely does anything. It kind of does a little bit, but I have my ground sheet. Just a ground sheet and a real thin foam Ranger mat with those sleeping bags. Can bring you down to like 10 or 0 degrees. So if I will always have in winter, or if it can get cold, I keep my puffy with me, my big down puffy coat. You can compact it down pretty small, smash it down, compress it. But I have to cross here, hold on. Yeah, that with that and my fleece, all you need, t-shirt, long sleeve fleece, pullover, it has a collar, no hood, and that down puffy. I have stood around in 10-15 degrees for 12 hours working, doing community work and stuff, standing outside while people are freezing. Keep your hands warm and dry and your feet warm and dry. You keep plenty of calories in you, or energy, food. Yeah, maybe some hot liquid helps too, but you do that, and a good hat. Good winter hat, like a, not like a basic beanie. I mean like an actual winter thick hat, With that, you're fine. And then I have my shamag that I wrap around my neck, like around like a brooch. It's like women will wear what's called a brooch, I think. You just pull it around you, sort of like that. That's how you wear a shamag. Like, that's a military, vital piece of outdoor kit. Any bushcrafter will tell you, outdoorsman, shamag, handkerchiefs, indispensable. So I use that, and then I have also a really thin blanket. It's almost thin enough to see. You could see through it in the light. When you fold it up, it's pretty good. You can wrap up in it, and you could use it as a little pillow, or you could use it kind of like a big shamag. You could tie it up as a bag. If you have to, just throw some stuff, tote from one spot to another. So those basic things. The 2 bags I put in a compression sack. I'm on the bridge right now, by the way. We're about to go to the see those trucks? We're about to go to the beach, to the ocean. Yeah, those items. Sleeping bags, thermarest and Ranger mat, a tent with the poles and the stakes. Something to lay inside, something to put over me, something to lay on, and something to have under it. I got my Tyvek ground sheet. And other than that, some just basic, random little minimal things. Phone charger and battery, lights, headlamp, a little bit of food, water, coffee. Threw it in the bike trailer and went on a mission. Yeah, so I walked out this way, stopped at one of my clients' houses on the way that I do some work for. And I'm going to stop back there and work a little bit in the morning when I wake up. So it's casual tonight. I came out, I was sick of everything. I threw those items into my bike trailer. I tied the bike trailer to my bike with paracord, and I left. Yeah, now I'm walking this way, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I have my stuff. And so eventually, hours from now, I'll become exhausted and extremely tired, and I will be sore and extremely exhausted, like I said, and I will want to lay down on solid concrete. I will not give a shit. When you get that, you're just like, I just want to stop. I just, yeah. I think I've done a total of like, close to 20 miles today. So a little heavy. I'm going to do another maybe 5 or 6, and then 2 on the way back. So yeah, when you get that tired and you're like, I literally will lay down on broken glass, I don't care, like just something. I so if you think of it in those terms, and you're like, bro, I have this Thermarest mattress and it's like 2 inches thick. Oh yeah, you can adjust it to get real comfy. You sink down into it, but you don't, your bones don't hit the ground. And then I got the Ranger mat under there, and to you know, my sleep system. Put that down, pop the tent up, less than 5 minutes, I'm in there. I could zip it, I could pass out if I want, or probably lay down and play Minecraft. So okay, I'll make part 2 after I get over the bridge, because this is a treacherous place. And yeah, live, meta. I'll be back.